Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
And it's gonna be the chip-chipperoo summer of our lives.
The remix.
You like that?
Oh, yeah. I like
What
the
do you mean?
slow... It's like a little slower.
Is it? I thought I was singing it at the right speed in my head, but maybe I was singing it slower.
It sounded like a fade out. I liked it.
Oh, maybe it was the very end of the song.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
I should have done that at the beginning of summer.
I got so caught up that I didn't hear the chip chipperoo.
I said it in place of Sunny Side Up. So it's the chip-chipperoo summer, which it has been. Probably not really. I mean, yeah, it's still summer.
Are you kidding? Oh, you mean by the time this comes out?
Yeah.
Y'all, as we record this, it is August 12th, and I texted Max this morning. I said, last year, we got our fall decorations out on September 14th, so it will be happening just as soon this year. Please prepare.
Perhaps earlier.
You would give me permission to put fall stuff out?
Oh, I love fall
September
stuff.
1st?
Oh, September 1st, absolutely. No question.
But it's hard because if you do it too soon, you don't really get that feeling because it's like so hot outside.
True. But starting getting fall stuff is great. And then we have some like Halloween stuff that comes out later that makes it feel really fall. So,
I am just here for it this year.
Including our Bob's Burgers nativity scene that we do for Halloween.
Our Halloween Belcher nativity scene.
Can't wait to get that out. Chip chipperoo, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. We are here, as always, to take you through another episode of Bob's Burgers, but more importantly, through the end credits sequence to that episode.
It's true.
But before we do that, we got a little business to take care of.
Taking care of business.
We have 2 new patrons to thank, and we have to burger pun their names.
I love it. I can't wait to hear what you come up with.
First up, we have Brian Shannon, who Brian did his own. He's the first one to do this.
Whoa.
I welcome it.
I love it.
I'm still going to do one for him, but I want to do what Brian did.
Okay, I can't wait.
Brian Shannon named himself the Brie on Shannon burger. A burger with brie cheese served on naan bread.
Nailed it.
Sounds delicious to me.
Sounds delicious. Absolutely nailed it.
Well done, Brian. I am humbled by your ability to make a burger pun name.
That says a lot, Brian.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Also, because I've had so many conversations with Brian, he very much wants a Wonder Wharf sweatshirt. And you have Brian to thank for pushing us into gear and finally getting our amazing Wonder Wharf t-shirt up as a sweatshirt. So that is available right now. Get your fall cozy vibes today.
bobscredits.com/shop.
Thank you, Brian.
We love our Wonder Wharf design. It has little baby Tina on it. It's so fun. Brian Shannon, it's my turn. I don't think I'm going to top yours, but moving forward, you will be known as the Hawaiian Shan Onion Burger. And it is a limited time burger from when Bob's went tiki themed.
Cute.
And pro tiki con tiki.
Yeah, we just had a whole conversation about Hawaiian burgers. I love that callback, Max.
Yeah, so there you have it. Next up, we have Amanda. Moving forward, you will be known as the Bran Duck Burger. A duck patty served on a bran dinner roll.
Okay. A bran dinner roll, not a burger bun.
No, on a dinner roll. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Say it again.
The Bran Duck Burger.
Okay. Yum.
Thank you to the 2 of you. We are so excited to have you join us on Patreon, and we hope you're enjoying all of the bonus episodes that we have there. There are so many more coming to you We hope you're really enjoying being a part of the Discord community. If you yourself would like to be a part of the Discord community, pretty much the nicest, kindest, most lovely group of people Skylar and I have ever met. And if you want your name Burger Pun on the show, you just got to subscribe to our $5 tier on Patreon, patreon.com/BobsCredits. That's that. That's all the business I have. Do you have any business to discuss?
I do not.
Okay.
I have to interrupt you. Creating burger puns with food names is much easier than human names. So I just want to give it up to you and Brian this week.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very hard.
It is.
And you've done an excellent job. So
it is tough. And I apologize to those of you who end up with kind of like gross sounding burgers, but think less about what the burger might taste like and think more about how much it sounds like your name.
Okay.
If you please. Are you ready to play a little Bob Pun or Max Pun?
I'm so ready.
So this week, as we've started to do, is switching it up. We're not always just doing burger puns.
Okay.
This week, we're going to do Bob's Pun or Max Pun, and it is going to be the store next door from the opening credits. Okay? Are you ready for your first pun, Skylar?
So ready.
Feel like making glove. Make your own gloves and mittens.
Oh my gosh, Gail would totally be at that class. So would Mr. Frond.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Mr. Frond opens that shop.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
He wants to make puppets.
Right. But he knits them.
True.
I'm going to say Bob's.
Yes. Your next pun is some bunny that I used to know. Rabbit rescue.
That's so good. Is it you?
Yes.
That is so good.
Oh, thank you. I tried to do like not all of them have like the parentheses where it says what it is. I try to do that for you there because
I was very upset.
I was lacking last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wonderful light. Chandeliers that make you happy.
Max.
Yes. And your final pun is all the marbles on the table here. That's not the pun. That could have been one though. I'm just saying you're about to go either perfect score or not.
Yep.
The elephant in the room. Indoor zoo.
Damn it. Bob's.
Max.
God.
So close, Skylar. So close. I'm sorry, but it was a good performance. Regardless.
Thanks.
3 out of 4 is pretty damn good.
I don't know.
You asked for the parentheses, you got them.
Well, regardless of how horribly I did, the parentheses just lit up my world.
You're just like It's a Wonderful Light.
Exactly.
Lights up the store next door. Skylar did our fun facts for this coming episode, just FYI. So, when she does that, we tend to swap roles. And I will be doing Skylar's sides, a.k.a. the fun facts before the fun facts, a.k.a. Max's Minute.
Dish it, girl.
I love this fact that I came up with.
That you came up with? You just are making up facts now?
I just create my own facts. This is an actual fact. 5 years ago, in July of 2017...
I love it already.
Simon Chong, who is currently supervising director of Bob's Burgers...
Yes.
...tweeted a YouTube video he made of what would happen if Archer, the TV show, took a trip to Bob's Burgers, which was based on the Archer episode where Bob's Burgers characters made an appearance.
Yes, the crossover episode. So he just made this on his free time?
He made this on his free time. It took him 7 months of animating, illustrating, and plucking dialogue from both of the shows.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Anyway, the day after he tweeted it, and it started to get some attention, it was retweeted by Lauren Bouchard, like quote tweeted, so that was on Lauren's own Twitter account, who said he was speechless. Simon replied, he was obviously like so honored, and he said how much it meant to him, to which Lauren replied, again, quote tweeting on his own account, "You want a job?" So that's how Simon got his job on Bob's Burgers. This year, he tweeted, "Today's the 5th anniversary of this little tweet that 180'd my life and career, in the best possible way, of course, because of my silly fan-made Bob's Archer crossover short. Passion projects, keep doing them, friends."
My mouth is hanging open.
5 years ago, he was just a huge fan, aspiring animator, illustrator, artist, and he tweeted a video, and now he's supervising director of Bob's Burgers.
And we follow him on Instagram, and I love when he takes photos of himself pointing at his name in the credits as a director, and now those photos mean so much more to me.
It's such a wonderful story for how he got this job.
I have chills.
And it's so inspiring, and I hope everyone listening, especially we've got a lot of like incredibly talented artists who follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'm like blown away half the time looking at their art, and I hope they keep at it and keep sharing, and it only takes something like that.
It takes one person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it takes yourself, if I'm really going to preach today. I love this for 3 reasons. Yes, do your passion projects. Just like this podcast was like a silly, fun passion project. 2, be open to things even more incredible than you thought could happen to happening. That's a really hard one for me. I can't get there, but I'm working on keeping my mind really open. And 3, Lauren Bouchard is amazing, and it feels so good to support a show in an industry that has a lot of bad stuff going on, a lot of egos, a lot of mean people. It's so amazing that Lauren is the creator of this thing that so many people love.
I agree. It's such a heartwarming story, and there's so many of those in this show and the behind the scenes of this show, and just another one to add to the list. And Simon seems like such a wonderful person too. So like to have another wonderful person joining the team and just
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I have another Simon fun fact that I will save for Skylar Side's next episode. How about that?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, we should do an all Simon Chong podcast.
We don't need any more passion projects. For all y'all, keep doing your passion projects. For us, no more.
Simon, if you're listening, we'd love to just speak with you. If you want to come do just a short little interview, we can.
Yeah.
Whatever episode you want to do, you let us know. Anyway, should we get into this episode?
Let's do it.
Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis for season 6? Oh, I just want to say, sorry.
Yeah.
Before we get into this is the penultimate episode of season 6.
And I'll throw a fun fact at you before we even dive in.
Mm-hmm.
This was a double header.
Mm-hmm.
So this technically is the night when it aired of the season finale.
Oh.
So the last 2 episodes aired on the same night. This one that we're about to talk about, I'll just go ahead and say Secret Admiral-irer, was the first episode to air.
And this is episode 18 of season 6. There's only 19 episodes in season 6. And I do want to say that this is our 99th episode. So we're going to end season 6 with our 100th episode.
Oh my gosh.
There'll be some kind of celebration. Skylar and I have to go kind of like huddle in the corner, and with Biscuit, we're going to have all our arms around each other, and we're going to come up with something for our 100th episode. Maybe a giveaway of some sort.
That'd be fun.
We got a lot of new merch coming out. Maybe we'll do a giveaway with new merch. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, we got the title. Can we have the synopsis?
When Tina plays matchmaker for her new elderly friend Meryl, things go awry. The kids are pretty sure Meryl's nephew is scamming her to get her pearls by fictionalizing an old Admiral Navy flame. But Tina's determined to show Meryl that true love does exist. And surprisingly, it does. Meryl and her lost lover are reunited after Bob tries to betray him. Meanwhile, Bob makes some chefy friends who drink and stay out very late. Bob can totally keep up with them. Kind of.
This episode came out on May 22nd, 2016. It was written by Holly Schlesinger and H. John Benjamin and directed by Brian Loschiavo.
This is the second episode that H. John Benjamin has co-written, and like last time, the flagship episode, he has co-written it, as you said, with Holly Schlesinger.
Let's talk about this episode a little bit. Immediate thoughts, feelings. We watched it yesterday.
I've been doing a lot of soul searching about this episode this morning because I read an AV Club article, and it gave it a B+. And it was like kind of a little harsh on it. And particularly they didn't like that Tina doesn't learn a lesson. So I've been doing some deep thinking about it. I do not agree with them, but I have my qualms. Before we get there, we always like to start on a positive note. How do you feel about this episode?
I'm going to jump to the B story for a second, just
Okay.
because I say, Bob, I relate to you so much. I feel you. I do not like going out late and drinking and do not want to do that anymore. And it's so hard to do at our age, Bob. You know, I think I'm around Bob's age or getting close to it
Yes.
now. And I felt his pain throughout the whole thing. And I
That-
do know at the
yeah.
rare occasion where I do, you know, maybe have a little too much to drink, that it is brutal.
That first night when he wakes up I don't know if he wakes up in the restaurant, but there's like wine bottles all over the restaurant because the chefy crew was at the restaurant. I felt nauseous, like
Yeah.
literally nauseous myself, thinking about what his hangover must feel like.
Yeah, it's not fun. And I also got a lot of like the bear vibes in this. It's so funny because the bear's like popular now, but this was so far before the bear was on TV.
Yes.
And there's obviously been like a lot of like comparisons and memes with Bob and Carmi, the lead chef from the bear. But this seems like the two worlds in the bear colliding too, like this kind of mom and pop burger joints and then like the fancier chefs and restaurateurs coming
Yes.
and, you know, interacting.
Oh, totally. And then there's a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, that I love that this episode on our podcast collided with the huge love of the bear. I just want to talk about the bear for a second. I'm sorry,
Sure,
y'all.
I brought it up. Go for it.
One thing that I really loved is I think it would have been so much easier to make Carmi an addict. And so we're just kind of watching this like drunken chef who doesn't have his life together, because that's where you go with like, let's do a broken chef. But it's just the anxiety of all the trauma of trying to be perfect in the kitchen that really haunts him, that keeps him awake at night, that, you know. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate them not going for the low-hanging fruit there.
Yeah, and I think you mean obviously like substance, because he is an addict.
He in codependency?
And yeah, and his work and
Yes,
perfection. And
yes.
yes, he does
Yeah,
have an
absolutely.
addiction there.
Well said. Anyway, interesting that you brought up the B story first. I've heard a lot of whispers on the internet. I feel this way too. I wish there was a little bit more. I think it's a hysterical B story. Bob wants to be accepted by this community. His food is good enough to be accepted by this community, but his cool factor isn't quite there. So I just think, you know, he must be in heaven. I wanted to see more.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I can see sometimes the AV Club can be pretty harsh about an animated TV show, I feel like. But I think just because Bob's is so good that they can kind of pick it apart a bit as like a live action TV show almost,
Yeah, I mean,
as we do.
I don't know if the AV Club is still writing about it, but there was a point where they had a review and recap, you know,
Yeah.
every week.
But I do understand the A story loses me a little bit. And I've said this before, when we focus on a character who is a non-main character on the show, who we haven't
So
met
Meryl.
before, yes, sometimes it loses me or loses my interest a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes a completely different way, like when
Yeah.
we first met Mickey, you know? Meryl is funny enough. Cloris Leachman does her voice, and Cloris Leachman is a, you know, legend, a
Yes.
comedy legend. So I love that. But there's something's missing in the A story for me.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tina-centric episodes, but we've just come off some really good ones, like Bye Bye Boo Boo and...
Or especially our last episode, the horse rider.
Yeah, and that's so... For me, it's not that Tina doesn't learn anything. I don't need characters to have growth every episode. I think
Yeah.
that would be preachy too fast, although characters do have growth on this show.
But they also don't, because that
Yes,
keeps the
you
show
can't have too much
in the
growth.
same, in the
Yeah.
same time frame. Like, you don't want to grow too much.
Exactly. So I was thinking about it this morning. Well, first, a note on the AV Club's criticism that Tina didn't show growth. I just wanted to be like, have you ever been an 8th grade girl? Obviously, the reviewer hasn't. I'm pretty sure they were male. But Tina's not supposed to have growth around her hopeless romanticism. That's a character trait. We don't want her to grow out. I think the movie did a great job of her having an original thought about maybe she likes the idea of Jimmy more. But at the end of the day, we still want Tina to be a hopeless romantic and a little blind to her own blindness, as Louise pointed out in the beginning of the episode. Here are 2 things that didn't work for me. And I think this is because we watch so many thrillers, we watch so much detective stuff. One, I thought it was emotionally really off that Tina goes behind this woman's back and writes to someone from her past. And she tells her not to. And then Tina's like, okay, so I went behind your back, and she's fine with it. I felt like that was a false beat there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she forgot, because Meryl does seem to forget a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So maybe she didn't think it was that big a deal.
I just thought there was going to be conflict there. And if anything, that codependency of like, you've put up a boundary and I've told you I don't want to bring my past into my life, and Tina not listening, that could have been a lesson. But the episode didn't go that way, and it's fine. The other thing is, I really didn't like the reveal that the pearls were in Meryl's purse the whole time. I was like, it just felt cheap. Normally they're really good at explaining how this could happen, and it's really funny, but it just happened. And of course we can say, oh, well, she's older. There wasn't any real good reason for that to happen.
Yeah, I think it was just like a very convenient and simple, and just they had to tie up the story.
But I think Bob's is better than that. I think their plant and payoffs are normally, which are so important to 30-minute comedies.
Mm-hmm. I did appreciate Louise immediately going to something is up here, because that's Louise's brain, right? Everything is adventure. Everything is requires them to do detective work. I mean, just go watch the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that she was wrong.
Yeah. I liked how they brought the 2 stories together, because they had Bob, who was a little worse for wear and probably looking a little bit older than he actually is. And with their brilliant makeup team of Jean, Tina, Louise, and Linda, using what they have in the restaurant to age
so funny
Bob up.
And of course, Bob, being the father he is, he's like, okay, whatever you kids want me to do. I love that he went along with it. I have a fun fact for you here.
Oh, yeah.
They make up his uniform, Bob's uniform, using his executive chef coat. So the little medals, fake medals on the coat are Fizzazz bottle caps. And if you remember, Fizzazz is the cola that they feature in this Bob's World. And the Fizzazz bottle was just featured in our Spin the Bottle credits.
Right.
So that's a fun little tie-in.
Any other fun facts you have?
I do. Do you want to talk about the episode more, or you're
no,
good?
I mean, the only thing
I
have to mention about the episode is just some more voices. We have the 2 chefs, Joel and Lionel. Mm-hmm. Joel is voiced by David Herman, who obviously we know as Mr. Franz, a bunch of other voices on the show. And Lionel is Joe Latrulio, who we've mentioned before, does a bunch of voices on the show every now and then, but he's from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Superbad, really funny guy. Yeah, those are the voices I have, aside from Cloris Leachman, who I already mentioned. Yeah,
I wanted more scenes with them. I wonder if one got cut.
I'm sure, yeah, I bet some stuff got cut from that storyline.
Yeah, because the A story was so big, I'm sure.
We'll hear them at the moment right before the end credits when we get into it.
Yeah. That being said, I feel like I'm being a little hard on this episode. I really enjoyed sitting down and watching it. Of course, it's a Bob's episode. And I laughed out loud throughout this. There were really great moments. It just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. I think we've said numerous times on here that even a Bob's Burgers episode that we're hard on is a phenomenal episode of television. They're always so enjoyable. We're just here to over-dissect them. Yeah. Sometimes.
All right. I just have one silly little fun fact. The Elegant Doily Retirement Home, which we get a whole Thanksgiving episode in the future, they have a different logo. in this
Oh.
episode. So I wonder if they zhuzhed it up a little bit, got some money or something.
They probably did.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they put a bunch of money into that place.
Yeah.
Made it all fancy for Meryl and Zeke's grandma and anyone else who's over
and
there.
Sergeant Bosco's
Mom
is there
Right,
too.
everyone's over there.
Yep.
No Edith and what's his name.
Oh no,
They're self-sufficient.
I don't think they would kick and scream going into a home. I think
filth. Should we get into the end credits?
Let's do it.
Okay, so as I mentioned, the last moment we have is the family's up in the living room. The kids have gone to sleep, I believe, and Bob's chef friends are calling out to see if Bob can come out and play. I don't know if they're calling to ask. I think they're demanding Bob come out and play. And we see how him and Linda deal with it.
Which, spoiler alert, I think is brilliant. Also, I felt like I had a lot of friends like that in my 20s that were so adamant about me coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. There's a certain point where you cross over in your 20s and you're like, I don't want to be doing this anymore.
And you should not be pressuring me like this.
We know you're up there. We saw you turn off the TV. Make us a burger.
They won't stop. They're never gonna stop. I'm so scared.
Calm down, calm down. How about this? I'll tell him you died.
Great idea. Thank you. Love you.
He's dead, go away, he's dead!
That
He's
was
dead.
a great scene. And that, to me, is relationship goals.
Yeah. I give you permission to tell anyone I'm dead.
I know
if
you
they
do.
invite me places, okay? Especially that late at night. Just tell them, okay?
Okay.
So what happens after that hilarious last moment and we get into the end credit sequences? What are we looking at?
Okay, so we're looking at the classic end credit sequences. In the kitchen, the girls and Bob are prepping. And then in the service window, who do we see, Max?
Meryl and the Admiral are dancing through the restaurant.
He is very handsome, by the way.
Super handsome. Much more handsome than Bob's version of him. I'm not going to lie. Bob's very handsome,
Yeah.
but the powdered sugar hair just didn't do it for me.
It aged him quite a bit.
Was it powdered sugar or flour? Probably flour.
I immediately thought powdered sugar, but now that you say it, why would they don't serve dessert there, so why would they have a ton of
I mean, I'm
powdered
sure
sugar?
they have some on hand just in case.
Probably
for any
upstairs.
yeah, but it's definitely got to be flour. Putting
I
powdered
loved
sugar
it.
on you sounds very
Sticky?
yeah,
Delicious?
yeah. Especially if Bob's like hungover and sweaty. You
Ew.
don't want that.
Ew.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about like the flour getting all cakey too.
Okay, y'all, as a sober human, I cannot tell you how lovely it is to have not had a hangover in like 5 years.
Yeah.
It is the best thing ever. I
They are
used to
the
wake
worst.
up almost every day with a hangover.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's not fun, especially as you get older.
Especially, and I mean this so sincerely, if you're hungover and then your kids just pour powdered sugar over you, that's the worst.
Yeah. So stick with the flour.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Okay. So we hear like this, like kind of like swing music almost.
I love it.
Yeah. It reminds me very much of League of Their Own. And what else is going on in the kitchen? Anyone doing anything differently? I feel like we got a little bit of bopping, a little bit of dancing.
Okay.
Louise is kind of like,
Oh, Louise, I've been taking some bar classes every now and then. I hate that I say that because I sound like the most basic bish ever. But Louise is doing one of the bar moves that we do in my class. So you like stand on your tiptoes and then you like pulse and it like kills your calves. That's exactly what she's doing.
yeah, but she doesn't seem to be having a hard time. She's
just
not hurting. She's just going at it
calves
these
of
whole
fire.
credits. Yeah, let's see what happens. So it seems like both Louise and Tina are bopping a bit to this music. And Linda comes into the service window to get the burger that Louise just placed in there. And sometimes Linda doesn't interact with anything going on, but she's bopping to the music as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just
They're
kinda like,
clearly blasting it over the restaurant speakers, I would say.
Yeah, so it looks like we're not getting too many things different other than that the girls all seem to be bopping to the music. And Meryl and the Admiral are just dancing around in circles, waltzing, I guess. Looks like they're
Swing dancing?
It doesn't look like they're swing dancing so much.
But it's not stuffy like the waltz.
No, they're definitely
Yeah.
dancing like the swing music, but they're not doing like
Ooh!
flipping each other over each other's backs.
Like
and stuff.
Madonna in League of Their Own.
Exactly.
This music instantly makes me feel happy.
Oh, I love this kind of music. I really do.
And it makes me feel happy for Meryl and her man.
Is it the Bob's theme swing music? I didn't. Should we go back and listen and see
Yeah.
if we can hear if it's the Bob's theme at all? I did not hear it, but sometimes,
I didn't, but I don't have the best ear.
Yeah, sometimes I read that it is the Bob's theme, and I'm like, it doesn't sound like the Bob's theme. So if you out there think you heard the Bob's theme in there, let us know. I think it's just kind of like a generic
I love the
swing music. At a moment in there, Meryl and the Admiral do a little bit of like kind of like swinging. There's like some throwing their hands out and separating from each other a little bit.
What I like about it so much is I really do see the youth in them. Like it transports me back to maybe when they met and had that missed dance opportunity, which I really like.
It's sweet. Now, do you think they took where they had met initially and moved the party over to the restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it was like bedtime at the. Was it at the Elegant Doilies? Like
Yes, like rec room or something.
Maybe it was like
Lights out.
Yeah, lights out, and they wanted to stay up and dance a little bit more. So Bob
I love that.
powered through his hangover to keep the restaurant open for these old people, even though he was hiding from his. It gets complicated.
Oh, it does get complicated. Or maybe this was earlier in the evening.
Could be.
Because those guys are night owls.
That's true. Well, yeah, they're probably still sleeping.
Yeah.
Maybe lights out at the Elegant Doily are like 6 p.m., 7
Yeah.
p.m.
I just feel like Bob is like 6 p.m. I love it.
We get one last thing at these end credits. We have been missing Jean. What happens with Jean?
I'm not entirely sure. I love it, but Jean comes perfectly on beat with the music, dancing with some kind of animal meat that you would see in a very chefy restaurant. Like if you went to the meat district somewhere.
Yeah. I looked it up because Kyla and I went like, what was that? Did we miss a line? And apparently we did, because Jean is dancing with the goat carcass that Taj brought to the restaurant one night.
Ah, got it.
Probably that first night that they all stayed up.
Shame on us for not knowing that.
I love that. Now that I know.
Love that. That makes these credits so much better.
Yeah, I have to say Jean dancing with the goat carcass definitely is going to bump my score up.
Although, what if it's the two-butted goat? That's dark. The two-butted goat comes back.
Yeah, I think it would be harder to dance with a two-butted goat carcass than a one-butted goat carcass, so I don't think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it just too many things, too many butts getting in the way there. Highlights, lowlights for these end credits, Skylar.
I think it just highlights a little bit that this wasn't my favorite episode. Because I'm not like dying. I'm like, oh, I hope it's this from the episode. I just kind of go along with it, and I love it. Highlights for me, obviously, Jean and the callback. I love a callback. I love that Bob just gets to be with his family in the early hours of the evening.
If that's the case.
And love, love, love the music.
Yeah, the music's great. I mean, if I had to do, I agree with all those. If I had to say lowlights, it's just really that, like I said, I didn't care that much about the characters we focused on in this episode.
Yeah.
I do think it's a cute little like cherry on top of the end of the episode, but it just wasn't my favorite.
You know what? Maybe what's so off about the episode is a lot of the times the show is rooted in realism, in true realism, I should say, I guess. So it's a little bit weird that this like magical, almost Disney ending happened. I think I would have liked it more if the nephew had been up to something that's so much more realistic.
I think so too. Especially because he is a little bastard and he is taking advantage of his grandma.
Which people do all the
memory
time.
has gone. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was for this episode.
Yeah, I didn't like him getting a pass. Should we score him?
Yes.
We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's You're going first, Skylar.
I'm gonna go goat an 8.
An 8. Wow, okay.
No, 7.5.
Don't let me influence you. I was curious.
I did.
I'm going to do 6.5 H's.
Fair.
I like the music, gets me bopping. I am okay with them dancing in the window. Gene comes in and saves the credits for me.
Oh, 100%.
Gene dancing to like swing music with a goat carcass. Come on.
I think what could have just really brought it up for me, because I do think I'm drawn toward the B story more, is either Bob like vomiting, like hangover vomiting, or like running off screen, or just like taking Advil down from the kitchen and popping some Advil. Like I wanted his storyline tied in a little bit.
Maybe just guzzling a bottle of water. A
NyQuil,
large, giant bottle of water or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. So those are the end credits to the secret Admiral-irer. It's
Wait,
so hard to
I
say.
take it back. What if he like slowly falls asleep on the prep table?
That'd be funny
and
too.
Louise has to like wake him up.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the end credits to the secret Admiral-irer. So hard to say.
It's
My
fine.
head hurts
It's
so
too late.
much. My head hurts as much as Bob's head hurts in this episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Bob's Credits all across the board.
Our newsletter, you can sign up for that. Just head to the link in our bio and TikTok or Instagram. And why you should do all of these things is we're about to release our Halloween Bob's themed product line, and we have had so much fun creating it.
Yeah, and those will be like limited time only for the season. So yeah, you're going to want to kind of like be on top
Snag
of
'em.
it. Follow us on our personal accounts. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Oh Hello It's Max. Skylar is at No Crying and Cooking on Instagram. What else do you want to say to everyone before we get out of here, Skylar?
How about you do it?
No, this is I'm shocked you're always surprised that you have to.
I know,
Have
I'm
a
always
sign-off.
surprised. I'm just going to be like Bob and be too tired to think of anything. I'm going to say stay saucy,
Oh, I thought you were
but
gonna
not
say, like,
on the sauce.
I thought you were going to say stays.
Stay saucy, but not on the sauce, kids.